just because it's Halloween, don't mean you could just have permission to wear anything. Everybody don't want to see everything you got. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's right. Yeah, because some of y'all don't need to be wearing no katana off of Mortal Kombat, like 2-piece. It's not that kind of holiday. Y'all grown folks that like to dress up, y'all go and take your old behind to like a Halloween party for adults. In the afternoon when the sun go down, it's for the kids. Then later on at night, it's for you.
Yeah.
And then some of y'all are too big to be trick-or-treating. I'm sorry.
You can just go to the store, buy your candy bag, and this.
Real talk. Like some of y'all, hey man, bro, the thrill is gone. Yeah.
Got my candy.
Yeah, get your ass out of here before I call the police. Get your ass out of here. Call the police on your big ass. Get out. Yeah, you go to the store and go buy something.
It's your boy Joffrey. Got my pink shirt on today. Hey. Representing, we got your boy Chris in the building. Chris, say what's up to your people, man.
In my mind. Can I sing it yet? I'm ready for Christmas already.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Halloween hadn't even got here
yet. Not yet, man. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, good people? How you living?
We doing good, man. We got a great show for y'all today. We got what we talking about? Breaking news, some movies that came out. Halloween is coming up real soon. So we want y'all to stay locked in as we talk about all these things. So stay locked in, Just Acting Up Show. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know what it is. Act like you've been somewhere. You've been there before. Come on now. Subscribe.
That's right.
Yeah. It's free.
It is free.
It is free.
Yes. I know y'all like free things. I mean, holiday season coming up. This is a great gift. We bring in great interviews and great conversation to you.
That's right. So, and we are creeping up on another year.
Ooh.
I know, right?
2 years in the game. 2 years in the game.
Man, show about to be 3 years old?
Well, 2 and 3? Yeah.
Yeah, this is our second year.
This our second year?
Yeah.
So this will be year 2.
This is year 2. So the new year, that's 3 years.
Yeah. November is when we. Yeah.
You sure?
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna make 2 at this year. We're
gonna make 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, James, we're gonna make 2.
Okay. My math is wrong.
We started in 2020.
That's right.
Yeah, so we're gonna make
my math
2.
is wrong, ladies and
gentlemen. I'm about to say, I'm like, damn, where another year went to?
It feels like that.
Where,
you know,
where did it go?
That's what the pandemic does to y'all.
God dog.
Like God doggone it. Yeah, man. So before we get the show kicked off, we want to go ahead and give a congratulations out to the Astros. Keep on winning. Keep doing your thing. I don't like to go too deep into the Astros when they get into the playoffs. Every time we do.
Heartbreak City. Was it last year that they make it all the way to? No, it was Game 6. They made it to Game 6. They couldn't do it Game 7, but it was 29. No, it was 2020 that they made it to Game 7, and we lost.
Believe so.
Yeah, it was. It was Game 7. It was Game 7 with the Nationals, and we lost.
Yeah.
I feel like keep y'all asses out of the playoffs if y'all ain't gonna come away with that trophy. And you start banging on them trash cans.
Get your hopes all high and everything. Just crush my spirits, man.
Jesus.
Dang, telling you, man. But yeah, shout out to the Astros, man. So another person, I think people are just starting to nitpick with the Lakers organization, with the Lakers, period, because they're trending again for the wrong reasons. They're talking about Russell Westbrook again. They're gonna talk about Russ.
Russ know what it is. They're gonna talk about Russ every year.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is. So when you, especially those that reach some level of stardom of an NBA, and now he's supposed to be on a super team, and then so they looking for every and anything. They're gonna pick the team apart.
Yeah, they are. Very true. They talking about how he's not in the huddle with the group and everything, and
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't. That wasn't no rumor. He wasn't. Like, he was just. They was all doing their own thing, like their team ritual. And someone made a good point. They was like, well, he said he had an excuse for it. He's like, I do this all the time. I do that all the time. It's my ritual. I do that. And it's like, okay, that's your ritual, but you're not with those other teams no more. You're with the Lakers. So if the Lakers are doing this, you need to do that. And then, I don't know why they put Patrick Beverly on that team with him. I just don't know why they did that. It's like the Lakers or the Dallas Cowboys of basketball. I'm not gonna lie to you. They like drama. Who signed off on that? Because when Patrick Beverly was trying to get him in the huddle, he shoo him away. And then it took AD to go over there and talk to him. Russ don't want to be on that team, and he's making it public known he do not want to be on that team.
Russ said, man, why y'all bring this man over here? Y'all know the history me and this man had. Why y'all bring him over here?
Just asking for it. Just asking for it. Yeah, storyline. Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. We will see. It's going to be a very interesting basketball season on that time. The Rockets is doing good, actually.
I love what I'm seeing from the young core. They lost one game so far. The Miami, very talented team. But I love what I'm seeing from the young group. Like I said, I'm gonna have to get a ticket to go see a game if I can. Hopefully, if my schedule allows it. So
Right.
I love what I'm seeing. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man. In other news, I don't know why, but it always comes back to that Yardbird, man. It always do. Did y'all get a chance to see Viola Davis in Hot Ones?
I saw the clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, what? She thought she bit off more than she can chew, literally. That look like I need to slap you for making me eat this.
Who was the best one on Hot Ones? I didn't see their whole interview.
Yeah.
They got a good concept. Like, hey, we're gonna interview you, but you're gonna eat these wings while we interview you. And then you're gonna put all them hot sauce on it. So who was the best one? I think Shaq. I think Shaq was funny. His facial expression was funny.
Well, ooh.
Oh, that's a little spicy.
Man, it is brutal. What's the name? I'm trying to think who was the best one. Idris Elba. Idris was pretty hilarious.
I forgot about him. He was God.
Is these? Oh no, that's not.
I can't do the accent. I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I can't do the British accent, but yeah, his was funny.
Yeah, his was hilarious. It's been quite a few of them, quite a handful of them that's been really funny. Even myself took a part of the Hot Ones. Well, I wasn't on his YouTube channel, but me and my homeboy Clarence, shout out to Clarence McQueen. We I did one before, and yeah, man, I'm talking about I was sweating while I was eating, and I couldn't say what I wanted to say because I was at work. But yeah, but you can see it all over my face.
So you did that for free?
Yeah, I should have charged some money for that one.
I remember, I forgot what wing place it was out here back in the day.
But
you sign a waiver if you was gonna eat. I don't know who wants to sign a waiver. I just want some chicken wings, man. I won't die.
I do remember it's out for 45. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, I remember that. And who will sign a waiver to eat food?
Yeah. And why do I want to burn my mouth and and not enjoy my food. Who thought of this? Who thought this was a great idea? Why
It's
did I do that?
And it still
it's
got an exit too.
yeah. Yeah, and they have some hot sauce that is made by the devil. There's no godly way that a Christian person, that God-fearing person made this hot sauce. Seriously.
No.
They got hot sauce, they got crossbones, skull of the crossbone with a big ass warning label. Why would I put that on anything? But bro, they got the hot sauce is crazy. The hot sauce game is crazy.
Even not even hot sauce, they done got it's the trend now, like especially with like that one chip challenge.
Yeah, the chips too.
The fact that it's just one chip that that they recommended that it's just why put yourself through that?
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing, so it'll clear up your sinuses.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's the hottest pepper? What's the hottest pepper? Green? Is it green or is it red? The hottest pepper.
I think it's ghost pepper.
Ghost pepper is white, right?
Nah, ghost pepper is black. From what I remember.
I ate one of those in high school.
Ghost pepper?
That was the hottest one.
Woo.
They bet me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got money. But boy, that whole day was like
was sweating probably, rethinking his whole life.
That whole day wasn't, boy, that little $10 I got wasn't worth it. I said, man, ain't no way. It messed me up the next day. So I ate it raw too. I popped it. Oh.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, man. But and to bring this segment to a close, Rihanna, she will be doing the Super Bowl performance like we spoke about last episode. But also to add on to that, she will go on tour after the Super Bowl. So, she's been out of work for quite some time, had the baby, and now she's ready to get back to work, man. So, she about to clean up.
I said it last week. Didn't I tell you? I said once they do Super Bowls, they're gonna go on a tour, drop an album or something, because that's like a free promotion. That's like a big promotional stage. Because they do the show for free, and then they get so much out of it.
Yeah.
Called it.
If I'm not mistaken, the last Super Bowl halftime show with Dr. Dre and all of them, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like at 1 billion views, almost 1 billion, if not 1 billion already. Like, bro, like, Jay-Z, They talked about that the other day too. Like the NFL had to get with the times. They had to get with the times. I remember they had Tom Petty on there on a halftime show. I'm like, bro, Tom Petty, really?
Who did this?
Like the halftime show has came a long way, bro.
Yeah, tell me. Oh my gosh, man! But yeah, man, smart move, smart business move. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be just like everybody else. We will be just like everybody else, glued to that TV.
Yeah.
So yeah. Not eating hot ones, the bomb and all them sauces. No, we're not doing that. So yeah.
I may invite everybody over for a football game and just trick them and have a few hot ghost peppers in there. I mean ghost wings in there.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That'd be terrible.
Don't do that.
These wings had that one wing up. You know how it starts with the eyes. You know it's hot on.
Then the crazy part is that thing don't creep. That thing creep up on you, boy. You will taste it, and it'll taste. It's all right. And all of a sudden, your mouth just boom on fire.
Like you just hey man, what's putting these wings, bro?
And then they tell you to drink milk. That thing don't work. Milk don't work.
I don't want no milk. I don't want it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get to the Critics Corner. We're going to talk about some movies that came out this past weekend. Did you check it out? You'll find out. Check out and see. Just Acting Up Show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Critics Corner. You already know what it is. I want you to go ahead and follow Joffrey's VIP Room, where you get a more in-depth analysis of your favorite TV shows, your favorite movies. And one of the shows just wrapped up. Did y'all check this out? Well, I know Mike hasn't checked it out yet because Mike likes to wait for the TV shows to end because he don't want to look at spoilers online.
Not just only that, I don't want to be stressed out neither. Because they don't Disney Plus, they frown upon binging. So
yeah, the TV show we talking about is She-Hulk. It just wrapped up. Yeah, man, great show, great season. It did end a certain way. Well, I was like, okay, that was different. I'm not trying to spoil it for Mike, but yeah, that was different. But yeah, what do you think about it, Chris?
It was definitely when they talk about breaking the fourth wall, they bulldozed that mud. Just say that. It was I wanted to see where they was gonna go with that though. Maybe the action part in me, but it was interesting. It was different. But it still felt a little lackluster.
Yeah, I can understand people.
It was more of a smart ending, like for those people that always got some, like those know-it-alls. I think that was more of a finale for them.
Yeah,
major Easter eggs.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I just did want to see some big climactic battle. But so yeah, y'all check out She-Hulk. It's for everyone's viewing pleasure, for Mike's viewing pleasure.
You guys are good friends because you know, y'all have just been like, hey, well, we're gonna spoil it for you then, Mike. Appreciate it. I'm letting y'all know ahead of time. For Black Panther, I'm calling in. So Saturday we be able, you know, to talk.
It's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down. I might see Black Panther like a lot more times, man.
I'm just saying, y'all ain't got to be like, well, you know, Mike ain't seen the movie, so yeah. We can't talk about it. This fact, he ain't seen the movie.
Ain't seen nothing, man. Oh my gosh, man. But so also, speaking of She-Hulk, speaking of Marvel films, Marvel has pushed back some films that everybody's waiting on, but we waiting on everything with Marvel. Me personally, I say that, you know what, good, push it back. Give us more of an opportunity to get our resume up so we can get in there and get cast in there. So
yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying. So yeah.
They pushing it back even further. Was they trying to go to 2030?
I mean, they pushed back Deadpool, Fantastic Four. They
pushed it back even further than 2024.
I think the last one that they did, I did say the year 2024, I believe. So yeah, but we already know for a fact everything will be coming out. I mean, they pushed everything back. Like I said, Deadpool, Fantastic Four.
By that time,
my son gonna be in high school by that time. God, dog.
It's all gonna be great.
Man, goodness. I mean, okay, when the last Avengers, what is it? Dynasty? What is it called? Time War or something?
The Kang something.
The Kang Dynasty, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Man, that thing ain't coming out to my son. My son graduated high school now.
Hey man, that's Marvel. That's what we doing, man.
Good Lord. Well, hopefully I'll be there. We hopefully we be in that thing.
Yes,
speaking in existence, I'm gonna be in the Kang Dynasty.
We're gonna be in there.
Yeah, we gonna be in the Kang Dynasty, even if I have to make a little cameo.
I would love that, man. Yeah, man. And do not forget that the Black Adam premiere is this week. I will be on to see Black Adam. Y'all gonna go see Black? I already know y'all gonna see Black Adam. Y'all gonna go see it?
Yeah, we're gonna go see that.
I already know.
Oh yeah. And come to find out is that they said that The Rock, if you smell it, I can't do it right now. The Rock is the one that's been dropping some teasers because everybody, you know how it is, them trolls, they just out there. They leaking everything.
Yeah, I tend to stay away.
Everything. Yeah. Man.
But you know what? I'm going to see it. This is going to be a very expensive weekend for me because the wife don't do 4DX. So I'm going to have to go to the regular theater with the wife. Well, the son is on punishment, so I get to save some money in that area.
There you go.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, the badass. I just thought about that. Save me a good $30.
Like, you want to act up, huh? Boy,
he acted up at the right time. I mean,
like that when Black Panther come out.
Black Panther, Black Adam, Black Christmas, no Christmas.
Save me some money.
Save me some money.
Oh,
thank you, Lord.
I want you to
keep it up. It's right on time too. He act up around Christmas.
Yeah.
I want you to. Oh man, too funny, man. And so look, man, I'm ready for this season right here. Sherman's Showcase is coming October 26th.
It's a must watch.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta watch it. It's a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout out to our extended family in Chicago, Chi-Town.
Yes, indeed. So yeah.
A lot of love.
Yeah,
man. Make sure y'all mark y'all calendars because it's coming up right around the corner. So yeah.
That's right.
Yes, and a few more things before we finish off this here segment. Halloween Ends has hit I thought it was just gonna be in theaters, but it's on Peacock. So shout out to Peacock. Man.
Yeah. I will be watching that pretty soon. And Hellraiser came out too. So hey man, Halloween, this is a good Halloween because they having a good little spread of entertainment going around. I'm really feeling the Halloween spirit.
Last year, I remember last year, we was talking about how it wasn't no good movies coming out around this time.
That's right. And they've been having a lot of good movies come out around this time. Not this year. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know about that Megan. I don't know about that.
Man, let me tell you something, man.
No.
So what's crazy about it is that Megan is coming out in January.
Right.
But the trailer already dropped. And Megan and Chucky got into some Twitter wars, which I found very hilarious and hysterical. These two dolls are having a Twitter war. So all right. This is what we doing, huh? Wow.
You Chucky where he at, man. Chucky used to traumatize me as a kid, and y'all keep bringing him back. And then adding on to his family. I don't understand. We don't need that.
Bro, it's a little bit too much for me. Like, she was dancing and moving and doing this here and doing that. I'm like, oh no.
Doing flips and all that. Yeah, man.
Doing the flips and all that now.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. And to step away from Halloween for a little bit, but we'll come back with it and we'll end the segment off with it. But this is out. This trailer just dropped. The House Party trailer, which will also be coming out in January. Did y'all see the trailer?
Yeah, I seen another house party. You could definitely tell it's a LeBron James production. Because it's under his company. That's
Yeah, it is.
I don't think they should call it a house party. I think that's what already had the negative thing on it. But it looks like a new take, a new movie. So they probably should just call it something else.
That's what I was thinking when I saw the trailer because it just didn't feel like house party. I was thinking in my mind that it was going to be just a straight up like a remake. Like, it seems like it left off from what Immature did.
I think they should have it looks like it could be a good movie. I just think for branding purposes, they should have just not said house party. Maybe call it like something else. What was something,
a reference to house party or something.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, something like
it's gonna be cameo crazy too. Lena Waithe is in it. Shout out to Lena Waithe. Even got his teammate Anthony Davis in it. Yeah, man, wow. Wow.
I wonder, will Russell Westbrook be in it?
Oh, Oh.
I don't have,
Hell
I don't have enough light to brighten up that shade you just threw, but
no.
dang.
He might be the
Oh, man.
shooter. He might be the shooter in the movie, but everybody lives.
We're gonna wait and see, man, how this turns out, man. We'll wait and see. And to end this segment off, taking it right back to Halloween. Would y'all do this? There is a haunted house in Tennessee, that is paying $20K to anyone who can make it through the night. Would you partake in that?
Well, I have questions.
Yeah.
Anybody made it tonight? What happened to them if they did? How haunted are we talking? Now, are we talking like Casper haunted, right?
Mm.
Are we talking about the Conjuring haunted?
Ooh.
I'm just saying these are key things you gotta know.
Those are great questions too. Those are wonderful questions. Now I can do the Conjured haunting. I can do that. The only hunting that I can't do is the slavery. I can't do that. Ooh, I can't do it.
No.
Oh no. I have told y'all the story. This is a real story. I have a Caucasian friend of mine, good guy, that went to Louisiana and stayed on a haunted plantation. He actually did that. Him and his wife. He's Caucasian white male.
And he did it for free.
And he did it for free. And he's Caucasian white.
I mean, man.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, he did that. He did that. So I can't do the slavery hunted. I just nah, I'm good on that.
I can't do it, man. I don't know. Yeah, but I agree with you, Chris. What type of haunted you talking about? Maybe I can. I don't know, but we're gonna have to ask. We have to talk about this. We gonna talk about that, man. So yeah,
Ain't nothing you just sign up for now. Because them spirits can come back. They can come in your house.
Yeah, they can follow you.
They can follow you. So while you on the plane on spirit, you have a spirit.
Right.
I mean, it land with you, get in the Uber with you, and come back home with you.
Yep.
And let you make it for that next night. Then tonight you good, but the following night says yeah.
No.
Like is it 20K for 20 years of torment? I don't want that.
I ain't got time. I ain't got time for it, man. Y'all can have it.
You know I'm good. I'm good. Oh man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a director coming through, screenwriter, Mr. Steve Merlo will be stopping by. Talk about a few things, talk about his film. So y'all want to stay locked into this one. Just Acting Up Show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest in the building, the director, screenwriter of Sawyer Massacre, Mr. Steve Merlo. Give him a hand.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How are you guys doing?
All right. Good.
Doing good, man. Man, thank you again for joining us. We greatly appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh man, the pleasure, man. I came across your trailer on Facebook and other stream platforms, YouTube and all that, and I really thought that it was the real deal, and that's how great it looks. And we'll get to all that. We'll get to your film and everything, but let's get to know you first.
Sure.
Before we talk about the Sawyer Massacre. So
sounds good.
Let's go ahead. Yes, sir. So let's talk about your humble beginnings and what got you started.
Oh, still humble. Getting there, getting better. I've always been a professional musician. So I've started out as that when I was a teenager, and had those dreams of being a rock star someday or whatever, right? And of course, that doesn't really pan out. That's not, but I made a living at it for quite a while, so it wasn't bad, but artistically, I was always trying to push myself, to do more. And I always, in my early 20s, I was always kind of thinking, boy, it'd be cool to make films, and I never did. But I was always kind of writing stories and stuff like that. So eventually, my stories turned into screenplays, and at the time when I had my first finished feature length screenplay, my thoughts were I would get somebody else to direct it. I would hand it off to somebody, and here you go, direct my film for me. But I realized pretty soon after that was not a common thing, that you write a screenplay and somebody directs it. So enough people in my local film industry suggested that I take a hand at directing. And it was intimidating at first, and there was a lot of things I had to learn. Still learning, always still learning. And but I think I got something very very satisfying out of directing, and just kept with it, no matter how tough it is, because it is tough to be a director. And yeah, it's just I do it because I love it. I definitely don't do it because I make money off of it. I mean, I have worked in the film industry and made money, but that's less creative jobs. Nobody's ever paid me to write a script or direct a movie. That's really hard to get to that point. So I hope that answers the question for the most part, though.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Okay. And you also won a few awards for some of your films.
Yeah, I've won a few awards. Nothing major, but nothing like from Cannes or anything like that. But I put a few of my short films out there, and I guess some of them were pretty well received. I find that my writing style is not the most suited for short films, so it's when one of my short films is well understood, it's kind of it's a good thing for me, because sometimes I try to cram too much into a 10-minute film or something, because I'm really trying to tell a feature length type story. So I find that sometimes the audience will miss a lot of the key points you're trying to do, trying to tell the key plot points and stuff like that. But the people who do understand those plot points, they really appreciate what you're going for. And I think that's why I've won a couple of nice awards. That it feels good, but at the same time, I still keep myself pretty humble, because I mean, a lot of those same films were entered into festivals and didn't get picked, didn't get selected. So yeah, I mean, you'll win some and you'll lose some, I guess. And I'm glad that some people do see the creative vision that I have for my films.
You also score music and compose as well, right?
Yeah, I've probably done more of that than anything in the film industry, because like I said before, I started out as a professional musician, so I've been writing music since I was 13 or 14, before I really even knew how to play any instruments, really. So yeah, it comes natural to me to compose. I mean, composing for films is definitely way different than writing a song.
Right.
So you have to think differently when you're composing for a film. But the idea is there. I think I just got a good handle on it, basically. Maybe because I love film so much, and it's just something that's come natural to me. But at the same time, when I first started this, I probably wasn't the best at composing movies. It was something I had to to get better at as well. So like you listen to some of my early scores, you'll probably think, oh, okay, it's not that it's a bad piece, but it's not the best for this
Right.
particular movie sort of thing. Yeah.
Right. I think the composing and the scores in movies and in television too is important for the film. It really is important because it's like you may not watch one episode of Mandalorian, but you do remember the intro song.
Exactly.
Same thing with Stranger Things. You remember the intro song of that. All the Batmans is like the music gets you into the movie, so it's very important because I listen to the scores.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
What's your give me a list of some of your favorite bands that inspire you.
I have one of them up. I have my all-time favorite band up on my wall, Soundgarden.
Oh man,
that was the band I was following as a teenager. You know, it was the band that really got me into playing guitar and wanting to play music professionally. So,
R.I.P. to Chris Cornell.
R.I.P. to Chris Cornell. Exactly.
Yeah.
That was tough for me. That was a tough one for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was listening to Black Hole Sun at work today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's your jam right there.
What's that?
I said that's your jam right there. That's your favorite one right there. I got you.
Yeah, Soundgarden. A lot of the music from the '90s because that's when I grew up. But I also like a lot of older music. A lot of I like all kinds of different music, and it reflects in my songwriting. Because sometimes I mix styles. Because I like everything from like older country and country rock and to like 80s metal and stuff like Soundgarden. So I mean, in some of my original songs, you'll hear a mix of some of those. In fact, one of my most popular songs has got verses that are all like really old school country, and then the chorus kick into like some sort of heavy Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, or Iced Earth sort of type riffs. So it's a massive contrast, but the majority of the audience kind of likes it. So I mean, it's not for everybody, that's for sure, but it's unique, that's for sure. A country metal song.
I mean, if you had a chance to do a biopic, would it be Soundgarden or would it be for is there a particular artist you would love to have the chance to direct or work on their biopics?
I mean, probably, my choice would be Soundgarden if I was to do if I had my choice at any biopic, but I mean, there's lots of great bands that have had lots of story to tell, So I mean, considering the recent news, a Journey biopic sounds like it would be very interesting.
Yeah, it would.
I love Journey too, so I mean, it's but there's a lot of drama going on there right now, so it would definitely be an interesting story to tell. That's for sure. There's lots of story to tell there, but I mean, Soundgarden's got a ton of story too. So I mean, I'm biopic on Journey. The Eagles would be another interesting.
Pink Floyd is my favorite band.
What's that?
Pink Floyd is my favorite band. Yeah,
there'd be an interesting biopic too. Yeah.
So many great ones you can choose from, man.
I know it's hard to choose, but I don't know if I had a choice. If a studio came up to me and said, "You get your choice of any band to do a biopic on," I would probably choose to do Soundgarden simply because they're my favorite band.
Nice, gotcha. Okay, so when you're not directing or composing music, what does Steve like to do in his downtime?
Hang out with my family. That's
beautiful.
I know it sounds boring, but it's not. I have a very interesting family. I got two wonderful kids, very young. My youngest is 11 months old now, and and I don't know, they keep me very entertained. So honestly, I mean, sometimes I wish I was doing more with them and spending more time with my family. We have our Sunday as our family day, and that's always great. I always look forward to that. And but I don't know, my family really keeps me going. I really love them. I mean, I just love them to pieces, and it's I don't know, it's not for everybody, I guess, but
Yeah.
I mean, I started late. I started my family late. I mean, I got married at 36, and we had our firstborn when I was nearly 37, and had my son when I was 41. So yeah, so I mean, it's a little late, but better late than never, I guess, if that's what you want.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful, man, and that's a great answer to the question too. Like, family ties is very, very important. We get so busy, and the ones that are in our household, we come to them and see them and play and joke with them, and that's very important. So I love
Agree.
that. Love it. Yeah.
Cool. This is a two-part question. Who is your Mount Rushmore of horror characters, and who would win in a battle royal, if it was a battle royal?
Oh boy, those are tough ones for me. I mean, the Mount Rushmore is maybe a little bit easier. Leatherface, obviously, being a Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy.
Right.
And probably more obscure ones, a little bit more obscure. I would go with Billy from Black Christmas, although you never really see his face. Just get his eye on the Mount Rushmore. Get his eye, the famous eye. So I just think Billy's a very deep character that doesn't get a lot of recognition. He's deep in a subtle way. You have to really listen to the context of his phone calls and stuff like that. So I would definitely put Billy on there. Michael Myers probably, or the Shape, as I prefer to call him. And probably go with Chucky.
Oh,
Probably.
I
Probably
think Chris
saying, "Where's Jason? Where's Jason?"
Yeah, where's
Everybody's
Jason?
like, "Where's
Where's
Jason?" I don't know. Jason's never done anything for me. I'm not a big Friday the 13th guy. I
Really?
like the first couple of films. The first one doesn't have Jason in it except for the very ending.
Right.
But I don't know. The series kind of became all the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably even one or two that I haven't seen, to be honest with you. And I've been told that you may as well not even go see some of those movies. Like I never even saw Jason X. I mean, I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks ridiculous. I'm not gonna ever go see that.
I remember when it came out, and I was like, no, this ain't the one.
But yeah, hey, kudos to them for going a different direction at least. But
Right.
I don't know. Like honestly, I preferred a lot of the Friday the 13th fan films over some of the actual theatrical releases. I hate to say. I mean, recently we just had Vengeance 2 Bloodlines came out. I just got to see that a few days ago. And man, it looks great. I think they had a budget of something like $72,000 to $75,000 or something. That's like way lower than a studio film. And it's got all the elements that a Friday the 13th film typically should have. And so I mean, it's got the kills, it's got maybe has a little bit too many characters that are trying to develop. If there's one nitpick, like I get a little bit lost in all these characters, like who are these people all of a sudden, and now we're introduced to these people, so it gets a little bit crazy in that regards. But I get it because you got to have a high body count in a Friday the 13th film. You just gotta. But I mean, they already had that going for them. They had this whole traffic jam sort of thing going on in that film, and it's like, well, many people are getting killed in that scene. But yeah, the Friday the 13th fan films. I mean, Never Hike Alone. I mean, let's just talk about that one alone. I mean, no, that movie did not have a high body count by any means or anything like that. It actually went a very different direction. Not your typical Friday the 13th film. You had Jason kind of in the shadows and stuff for a lot of that film, which you never really see too much in a Friday the 13th film. And I think I really liked that a lot more than a lot of the sequels I watched, you know.
Wow.
Granted, it's been a while since I've really watched a lot of those sequels. So, but yeah, I just remember, you know, as a younger guy, you know, kind of getting bored of the Friday the 13th series. So, hey, man, it's the #1 horror franchise out there, I think, but it's never quite hit it for me.
Yeah, something was always missing from that franchise that you were like, yeah.
Because they had them in space and they had them in New York. Then they had them.
I get
they had them everywhere. After a while,
you know?
it just got goofy. Like the first one had the mom. Very first one had the mom, didn't have the Jason. And then I can't remember the second one and the third one. But after the second one and third one, it was like, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people like the fourth one a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of people like the sixth one.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I get a lot of people saying they swear that part 6 is the best one in the franchise. But I don't know, I have to rewatch it. It's I can't even really remember. I remember the fifth one, they went with a copycat killer, which I like the idea of, but I remember it not really being executed very well. But I don't know. Been a while, so I mean, it is something I would probably have to rewatch again to really, you know, make a better assessment, because you know I wasn't even really making films the last time I saw any of those movies. So, so maybe now as a filmmaker, but again, I've seen a lot of fan films lately, though.
And those fan films,
Roseblood, Vengeance, you know, they're great. They're great. There's so many of them, though. It's hard to keep up.
True, very true. And those fan films look really good, which, you know, brings us to our next question. Is like when I mentioned earlier, when I watched your trailer, and I was just so in. I mean, everything looks amazing. Everything looks exactly like it looks like, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I know you did, I think, what's it called? Barbecue, I believe. I'm trying to remember.
First annual barbecue. This is the first film I ever made.
Yeah. And yes, you know, that inspired you to do this one, the Sawyer Massacre. And I was going to ask you, who does the location scout? Because everything looks perfect. Like, it looks perfect, man.
For first annual barbecue, it was me. You know, with the help of the local film commission, because I shot that all here in Western Canada. I didn't have money to go to Texas then.
Yeah.
But for the Sawyer Massacre, I recruited a bunch of people from Texas, and at the same time, I was on Google Maps scouting the central, you know, the areas around Austin, just trying to find something that fit my vision. I don't know how successful I really was with that. Because I had a specific vision for the main location of this movie, and nothing was quite fitting. You know, it was very tough. But again, I think they still look good, but they don't look like what I was really wanting. And you know, as far as you know, people down there scouting locations for me, I would get pictures sent to me here in Western Canada from these people. And, you know, you look at the pictures and think, okay, that looks not bad. That looks pretty good. And then once I got there in person, it's like, how am I going to shoot this? And we actually had to make a lot of alterations to our script because the locations didn't have certain aspects that we needed. Some interior and exterior. It was a challenge. So, you know, I had to confide in the director of photography many times to say, I think we're going to have to change the story a little bit. You know, it's still the same story, but we had to kind of structure things a little bit different, you know. But it worked. It wasn't, you know, it definitely wasn't exactly as I saw. And I'll when people see the film, once people have watched the film, I'll probably do a live commentary where I talk about what was changed from the original script, because it was just so different. Yeah, it's a challenge to location scout when when you're 3,000 miles away from something like that. Anyways, I'm not sure exactly if I'm 3,000, but I'm a far ways away from Texas, that's for sure. So, and
Right.
unfortunately, logistics, I couldn't go there, and I couldn't fly down to Texas 2 months in advance to go check out the area. Unfortunately, I wish I could have. In hindsight, it might have been that might have been a smart investment. It might have been a smart investment to just fly down there 2 or 3 months in advance, drive around Texas. Yeah, it would have cost a pretty penny, but I think it may have been more worth it. But hey, we made it work. We made it work.
Right.
Want to come on the show and talk about let's talk about Indiegogo or crowdfunding. Can you touch on that a bit?
Sure. I mean, it's a lot of work. We'll start with that. I mean, I learned very early how much work running a crowdfunding campaign is going to be, because we've to date we've raised around $70,000 Canadian on Indiegogo, and which is great.
Yeah.
But I've basically had to work full time over the last year and a half to raise that money for the movie, and it is a full-time job. And the first campaign we didn't do very well. It raised just over 4,000 Canadian, and that's we weren't going to shoot in Texas with that kind of money. There was just no way. So I had to prepare for another one, and I did a little bit of research before I did the second one, because I didn't want to raise just another 4K and that be that.
Right.
So the second campaign we did a lot better, but it still didn't quite hit its goal. It raised about around 12. I guess it'd be about 12K US.
Gotcha.
So better. Still not looking like we're going to Texas at that point. So I did a third campaign. I wasn't ever wanting to do a third campaign. It was starting to really take a toll on me, but
Right.
it's a lot of work, and I'm away from my family all the time, and all that kind of stuff. But you have to do it. You got to learn how to do it, and you got to network. And third campaign set the goal a little bit lower, and hit it. Just barely hit it, but we hit it. And that's when we knew that we were going to be able to shoot the movie in Texas. And just did a finishing funds campaign, hit that goal too. It's something I had to get a little bit better at every time I did it. And I'm glad that we always went up rather than, have this sort of rocky road, up, down, up, down. It's always, each one was a little bit better. And I still don't think I'm like a pro at the crowdfunding thing, but I've definitely learned a lot, and happy I learned it. There's a lot of good things that can come out of it. First off, the networking. I've met so many amazing people in the indie film industry because of all the networking I've done. At first I'm like, oh, I don't know if I really want to network. I don't want to have like 5,000 friends on Facebook. I went from having about 1,000 friends on Facebook to 5,000.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet a bunch of people I don't know, but you meet a lot of these people, and a lot of great people. And it's that I'm glad I did it, because some of the people I've met have been a huge impact on the film. So yeah, it's definitely something I suggest anybody to learn. Suggest anybody to put the effort in. If you are an indie filmmaker and you want to try crowdfunding, just be ready for the work that you got to put in. Some people have this attitude that you put the work in to make the crowdfunding campaign. You know, you make a really awesome pitch trailer, you make the campaign look really, really good, and then you set it and forget it. Well, it does not work that way. Anybody that does that, you know, is not going to be successful with their crowdfunding campaign. You got to campaign the whole time it's running, and even after it's ended. You know, you got to still, you know, lay some seeds for your next campaign or whatever, right? So it's definitely tough, but glad I did it. Learned a lot.
Yeah, man. And
What's
you know,
up?
thank you for sharing that too, by the way, because though, like you said, it's important to know these things. Very important.
Definitely. I get people asking me for advice on it a lot. And don't get me wrong, you have to have a really great looking campaign. I think you
Mhm.
should. And I mean, believe it or not, though, I've seen some not very good looking Indiegogo pages that still raise a lot of money. But they have a great team behind them or something like that, you know. But sometimes just having the right people on board,
Yeah.
promoting it and stuff like that, can still propel your campaign to go forward.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's probably, in my opinion, it's more important than having the coolest looking campaign. I think you should have a good looking campaign, but at the same time, I think that work you put into the campaign while it's running is going to have a bigger impact than
Cool.
the actual campaign itself.
Gotcha. Well, a couple of last questions, and we'll get you out of here. So, Sawyer Massacre. Why Leatherface? Why that character? I know you did, you know, first barbecue and everything, but what is it about this guy that intrigues you so much? What is it about his story?
Mr. Hewitt, that's his last name.
This is you.
Hewitt.
There you go. Thank you. I forgot his last name. Thank you.
All good. Leatherface to me is the scariest horror villain, in my opinion. I mean, it's one of those things I'll always remember the first time I saw like an image of Leatherface, and I thought, boy, this guy is scary looking. What the hell's the deal with his face? You know, and you learn what their actual deal is with his face, and it just becomes that much more terrifying. And he's the original version of the character anyways. I mean, there's been so many interpretations of Leatherface.
Yeah.
I personally don't feel like a lot of those really get it right, at least not to me. You know, you have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 where he's very cartoony and over the top, and you know, and Texas Chainsaw 3 was a little bit better, but at the same time he still had a lot of that kind of goofy aspects in the character as well. I feel like the original version is very grounded in reality. As soon as he comes on screen, you believe 100% that this guy exists somewhere in Texas.
Yes.
You know?
I used to think that was real. And I hated going to the country. I hated going near the country because
there's something. It's there's so many reasons why. I think first, I mean, the clothes he's wearing, that looks like what a crazy guy in Texas would probably wear. You know, the butcher's apron and I don't know. It was a very realistic costume. And I think it was simple costume, but very realistic. And the movements of Gunnar Hansen, who played him, you know, I don't know. There is something extremely terrifying about that original version of Leatherface. So, I mean, I personally wanted to try to capture a lot of that original version in our film, but still be a little bit, you know, keep it a little bit nuanced in our own vision. Our movie is set 8 years before the original, so he is younger. He's still kind of in a learning stage, you know, but he's come into his own. It's kind of like that. He's come into his own. And but I just wanted to get that realistic, gritty version of the character. And you know, I wanted to get the actual reasons why he wears the masks that he wears, because you know, I think that's something that's kind of always glossed over in all of the sequels and remakes and whatnot, is the masks. Why he wears them. In the remake, he was wearing a mask because he had a skin deformity. But the original idea was that he's wearing masks because he's trying to gain a personality. Because he himself doesn't have a personality. He's void of personality. So every time he puts on a different mask, he's taking on the personality of that face that he's wearing.
Right.
So I wanted to do that in my film. I felt like that was something that's been glossed over a lot. I mean, I guess Next Generation did it, but it was not very well done. I mean, that was a bad movie. That was a bad movie. But other than that, it's the only other movie that's really kind of done that, and they really took it to far extremes in that film, whereas I think it needs to be a little bit more subtle. I think one mistake maybe I made was maybe it's a little too subtle in our film. Hopefully not, but I think it is. And there's a couple reasons for that I won't get into now until you guys have seen the movie.
Right.
But every face he wears in our film, and there's 4 of them he wears in our film, is meant to take on a certain personality. So whether you see those personalities or not, again, I was trying to be kind of subtle, but if you do see them, you'll appreciate it probably a lot more.
I have a theory about certain horror films. If you film in the countryside of Texas, it's automatically gonna be scary because it's out there and you don't know what's out there. And then anything in Louisiana, I believe Skeleton Key scared the crap out of me. Because it's the history of Louisiana itself with the voodoo. Hoodoo and voodoo that came from what's that country? But you get what I'm saying. Haiti. Yeah. So it's a lot of evil history in that state, and it's like it's creepy. Because Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, set the tone for like, you go out in the woods, you might not come back.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's
so it goes back to the
it was definitely a dream come true to shoot there. I'll say that much. It was
right.
It's just the landscape that is something we captured pretty well, I think, in our film, was the landscape. The rugged the trees are very, there's something about those trees in Texas. Very, very eerie. So I'm glad we captured that. I think some of the locations could have been better, but again, you guys won't know seeing it because I just had a specific vision. But yeah, man, there's something about there. I had to shoot this movie in Texas. There was just it wouldn't have looked this good shooting it where I'm from in Western Canada. It just wouldn't have.
Gotcha. But we greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. The film comes out next week. Well, it comes out on the 21st?
Yeah, the 21st.
21st. We'll be looking forward to it, brother. Once again, thank you again for your time. Nothing but blessed to see you. Enjoy your family. When you get a chance, I know you got still a lot you got to do after this. But,
thank you guys so much for having me.
No problem.
And tell us where we can follow you at, or your YouTube channel.
Sure. Yes. My YouTube channel is Sequanda Films. I actually just recently rebranded it to my production company name. It was under Meat Mungus Merlo, and now we've rebranded to Sequanda Films. Find us on Facebook. We've got a Facebook page for the Sawyer Massacre, as well as a group. On Instagram at chainsaw_Sawyer. On Twitter at Massacre Sawyer. We're on the Slasher app as well. Even on TikTok, I'm not very good on TikTok, but I'm on there. We're on there trying to promote the film any way we possibly can. I'm probably missing something, but because it seems like I'm on everything, but that was more or less it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Merlo, Sawyer Massacre.
Well, thanks, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the segment of the show where somebody is acting the fool. They acting up. Brother Chris, who gets the award today?
Well, we're going to Mike's favorite state.
Oh Lord.
You know what state that is. Pensacola, Florida. Yep. A Florida man was arrested after allegedly storming the field at a football game. You say you've seen people do that before, whatever. Only thing is, this was a football game full of kids.
Hell no.
The man stormed the field attacking a 9-year-old boy during the football practice. Not even the game. I'm sorry, I misquoted. The practice. We talking about practice, right?
Practice.
Oh,
He said that David Allen Taylor, age 41. Let that sink in. 9 years old, 41. Okay, sit your bone. WB said Taylor son was taking part in a one-on-one tackling practice drill with another player when Taylor's son was overpowered and started crying. Then witnesses say that Taylor ran on the field, put his helmet on his head, got into a football stance and charged the victim, intentionally hitting the boy in the chest with the helmet. Deputies also said that he then grabbed the victim by the arms and pushed him to the ground. The boy started crying but was not seriously hurt and did not require medical attention. Taylor then yelled and cursed and approached the coaching staff in an aggressive manner before he was finally stopped. He was arrested and booked in Escambia County Jail. He's being charged with aggravated child abuse and disorderly conduct and has since bonded out of jail.
That's Father of the Year.
Lord, why do they do these things?
Big stupid Father of the Year. Bobby Boucher.
my mama said,
He's not a good football fan. Do you know what football players do to stay cool?
What do they do?
What they do?
They do that by standing close to fans. So he was
Oh, I forgot. Here we go.
I mean,
Chris's jokes, everybody.
I bet Mike knows. I know Mike know this because them Steelers, they used to this. You know what kind of tea football players drink? Penalty.
We actually got the fewest penalty. We got the fewest points scored, but we get the penalties ain't no problem.
Yeah. We are in the middle of October. And so I want to know, why was the Tiny Ghost asked to join the football team?
I don't know, but I have an idea you're going to tell me.
Yeah, they needed a little team spirit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God damn it. Damn.
Oh,
Hey, you remember, James, when Chris was on vacation and we didn't have no problems?
The unfinished segment.
We
all of a sudden.
We searched high and low. We couldn't find nobody doing nothing stupid. James,
All of a sudden.
Chris went straight. Chris got the power, man. I mean, he went straight to it, and then he had the jokes behind it. Bobby Boucher's daddy.
Bobby Boucher. Boy, I tell you.
Bobby Boucher.
I can't stand people sometimes.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm just saying though, just back to that story. How mad do you have to get mad, get on the field? You put on a helmet. Yeah, that's intention right there. That's thought out.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say that. You thought this out. You had this ready.
Yeah.
Boy, if you on that field, boy. Come get that there helmet, boy. I'm ram right there into your chest. But like, why would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
People.
Can you imagine him working through his transgressions, like his progress of before he actually finished doing what he was doing? He probably was cut. I'm finna go down here, get their ass, put their helmet on. Hey man, what you doing? Hey man, move out of my way. And then boom.
Boy, you have to run down them stairs too. You know the stairs in that stadium?
He had to run down the stairs.
He in the stand. He got in the stands too. So he ain't just. So he got to put on the helmet. Got down.
Got down in. He got down in the stands. Look, you out of eye. Look at right here out of eye. What is it? 3 points? It's 3 points on the ground. We got 3 points on the ground. That boy hit that. That boy hit that LT. He hit him with that Lawrence Taylor.
I hate people with a passion.
Little league football is becoming a dangerous hobby.
Yeah, Little league football is becoming a dangerous sport.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. Well, Tashay will be joining us as well, and we have Dr. Purpose. So y'all stay locked in to this segment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Balancing Act. So y'all already know what we do here. We, give flowers out to certain individuals, or we talk about certain topics that goes on in the Houston community. So what we're going to do for this, and we have a special guest, as y'all can see. Dr. Purpose is blessing us with her presence once again. Hello, Dr. Purpose. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing blessed. And yourself?
Doing well, man.
Doing good. I want to say thank you again for inviting us out to your play. Beautiful play. Love it. Your story. It was beautiful. I was very moved by it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. I mean, you actually came, you showed out, you got to introduce your podcast, and all that you gave, there's a connection there. So, not just your show, man, you kind of like connected with each other you the best. Kudos.
Oh, girl, stop, girl, stop. Stop. But yeah, we greatly appreciate it. Well, it's both shows, and both shows were amazing and really touched a lot of people. A lot of people were moved by it. But for this time that you're on the show, you are telling us about your event, the Balloon Release.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. So tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, so this will be my 3rd annual Butterfly and Balloon Release. And what I do is my stepdaughter died from domestic violence around 18 years ago in August. And last year when we did it, another young lady from North Carolina got killed by the same guy that killed her. So it just made a year on October the 10th for her 1st year anniversary. So what I decided to do, when we did the event last year, we caught news coverage from North Carolina. And if I don't know, I'm a domestic violence survivor of 22 years will be this month, as well as I'm the voice of domestic violence. I added on sex trafficking. And when I added on sex trafficking, my little cousin had got killed that same, like a couple of days after. And so this is my purpose. This is what God called me to do, because I don't know if you ever been in a position where you just want to walk away from something, but it's that saying that says it's shut up in my bones. It's like fire shut up in my bones. I can't walk away from it. And I see every year what God is doing. It seems like it gets deeper and deeper, and there's a reason for it. So I had to learn it's greater than me. And so I started doing it just so that I can show people not just awareness, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but just also to show people looking at me, you've seen my story, but a lot of people, the after effect, of what we go through, the trauma, the psychological, trying to get back on your feet, things like that, and starting over, basically. And so God dropped it in my heart as I was working with Children Protective Services to start a domestic violence center. And so I've been doing this since 2009. And I'm kind of like the voice of domestic violence. And so when I think about my daughter that had passed away, I feel like she's literally like, hey, moms, I need you to speak up for me, because the guy only did 12 years in jail. And if he had not gotten out, or if someone else had became an advocate for her in North Carolina, I believe that would have stopped a lot of death that has occurred, because he also tried to kill 3 other women in the process before he killed this last one. And so this is something that I do to honor and to let people know, people like me, domestic violence doesn't have a fate. People look at me like, you went through all of that. Yes, I did. And there's plenty more And you'll be surprised who's going to be on the panel this year that we're giving. I think we're doing 12 women that we're honoring. One of them, the guys that was in the play, the tall, slender guy, his mom, she was in sex trafficking as well as domestic violence. And so that play actually brought a lot of people to come to me and say, hey, thank you for telling my story. It identified with me in one way or the other. And then that way they came and told me, hey, I went through sex trafficking, I went through domestic violence. And so this is a way that I've partnered with a lot of different agencies around the world, because I want this to be national. I want this to be something that everybody that's realizing domestic violence is serious. The only thing about it that I got out of it, you know, everybody don't get out of it. And just to see that we want to honor those that have passed on, those family members that have lost someone to domestic violence or sex trafficking. And this sex trafficking thing is getting so real. The years of the kids are now becoming less, 5 years old. If you see these Amber Alerts, they now have it hooked up here in Houston, where the Amber Alert, sometimes we're saying, hey, there's a child right here that's being abducted for sex trafficking. So we're just trying to make awareness and honor these women. I give them not proclamations, but honorariums. I do them like, it's like if I'm getting a proclamation from the mayor of Houston, as well as I did get the proclamation for that event. So we will be doing the proclamation. Someone will be honoring me with the proclamation for this our third annual Butterfly and Balloon release. We're having it at 3:00 p.m. Saturday on the 22nd at Greenhouse International Church, which is at 200 West Greens Road under Pastor Decker. A lot of people know Pastor Decker because he's one that goes out and helps stop the violence, you know, and talk to literally everyone. So he's a community type of pastor. They just kind of like opened up the door and said, hey, we have an event that day. Would you like to come in and do your event as well? So I'm just so blessed that they even thought about me a year. This happened a year ago. And so I'm just, God even chose me to do this. Who would have thought? And as well as I also received the Lifetime Achievement Award that was signed by Biden. So I get that as well. That's going to be presented at the event.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So
Well,
amazing. I said that's so amazing. That's so amazing.
Yes. I mean, when we go through trials, you just never know what the end result is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to talk about domestic violence, or who wants to be an organization or somebody who represents domestic violence, you know? And somebody has to be the voice. And because of the simple fact that people think domestic violence only happens when we're making awareness of it. This is not just Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is also Cancer Awareness Month. I've been on sides of the fence, but I'm more so in domestic violence. And it's starting with young kids. You know, like I said, I have 2 young daughters as well. And I can just only imagine somebody, I'm trying to give them, you know, what the signs is of sex trafficking, how they're putting numbers on the door. They're watching you while you're at the gas station. They're coming up to you, putting markers on that car saying there's only 1 woman in the car. It's probably 2 women in the car. They're following you in different vans. I mean, we're just trying to make awareness to let people know, hey, this thing is real, especially here in Houston, you know. So that's something that y'all may want to, you know, have somebody on there that can really go into details about the sex trafficking, domestic violence. We're kind of getting more awareness of it. We're seeing more the statistics going up during the pandemic, but we also see that there's a lot of people that don't come forth or say anything. And so I definitely want to be the voice of domestic violence to let people know this thing is real and it could end up in death. And so if you need help, reach out to someone like me, Divine Destiny Ministry and Crisis Center. What I do is we help people find locations and we teach them about don't just leave. My daughter-in-law got killed because my stepdaughter got killed because of the simple fact that she was told to just leave. And so that's something that we want to teach them about, making a safety plan before you just walk out. Don't just leave like that, because you have to understand abuse is only power and control. And so when somebody feel they can manipulate you or you trying to leave them, they will try to kill you.
wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Purvis, for sharing that with us again. And once again, we are so sincerely sorry for your loss. of a loved one.
Thank you.
And we love that you are spreading this message and helping those who are seeking help. And for those out there who are seeking help, please reach out to Dr. Purpose or someone that can help you with this situation.
Correct. That's
So Shay, Mike, Chris, y'all got any final things before we sign off with Dr. Purpose?
No.
Yes. I wanted to know more about the place where you're going to be doing the event at. You said it's on next Saturday on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that church? Because it sounds very familiar. I know I'll be a part of a domestic violence play on the same day, and it sounds like the same church.
It's at the same location. That's Curtis Vaughn. He'll be doing it at 7 o'clock. I'll be there at 3 o'clock. Yeah, me and Curtis Vaughn go back in the day. So, oh God, I hope I get the opportunity to see you. I wish y'all can come out even before, like James, how you did before. I have free vendors. So y'all don't have to pay anything just to get y'all, y'all business out there. I like to give to the community. I mean, if anybody know me better, that is James. And so even with my play, I didn't charge anybody anything. I just let them come in there for free. It was a packed house and it was wonderful. And a lot of people got a lot of things out of that. So I hope I get to see you on that day because I will be there at 3 o'clock till 5:30, probably a little late. I'm trying to give me a free ticket too to come to the. Look, I got.
We're gonna have to get you in this play. We're gonna have to let you come on in.
James, come on now. You gotta talk about it. Yeah, but I love what Curtis is doing. I've been working. I'm a singer, so I used to open up for Curtis Vaughn back in the day. And what he does is he gives out a portion of whatever he makes and he gives it to the church. And he's bringing awareness to domestic violence. It doesn't mean that you have to have been through domestic violence in order to be a supporter. And this event that I'm doing, I want people to know this is a community. If we're talking about helping a community and we're always talking about Black Lives Matter, or we're looking at Black men and the police officers and things like that, who's going to speak up for us, our lives as Black women? It does matter. Y'all can't do too much without us, honestly.
You're right about that. We need y'all.
You're all right.
We definitely need it. We're the glue to the families. Like, we hold those families together, and we got to be held on a higher pedestal than what this generation is holding the women at right now. It's like so broken down.
It is.
They don't understand. They don't understand the seasoning that go to this platter. We important, and we should be held as such.
And we're coming out. If you see us as women, we're now learning something that I've been doing all of my life. This pandemic did a great thing. I'm seeing a lot of Black entrepreneur women that are coming out now. And it's not about pulling people down, crabs in a bucket. We are literally empowering other women and helping them. Hey, what do you need? How can you get there? Black Lives Matter. We can do it. We're better together. And I love that. I love to see us Black women starting to rise up. Hey, man, I hate to tell y'all, but we're taking over the world. We are literally taking over the world because we realize we've been suppressed and oppressed for so long, and it's time for us to have a voice. And I'm so glad that we have men like you. My husband will be the master of ceremony. So we have men that is out there supporting us and saying, hey, we have to take care of our Black queens.
Amen and amen again.
Take us to church.
Amen. That's a full word right there. Dr. Purpose, let everybody know where we can follow you at.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Dr._purpose. Also, there's a link that's on IG, I'm sorry. And there's also a link that's called Third Annual Butterfly Balloon Release on IG. Facebook, you can find me under Ladira Karn. You probably won't remember that, but Divine Destiny Ministry and Crisis Center, or go under Third Annual Butterfly and Balloon Release. Y'all get y'all tickets, y'all register. It is free. It's a free event. Just register, get how many tickets y'all want. Like, I'm just trying to fill up the house, and it is going to be a joy. And it's going to be probably, James, some of the same people. I don't know if you're going to be here, but some of the same people that was at the vendor before, they're going to be supporting me on this event as well.
Sounds good. Thank you again for everything that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Purpose.
Thank you.
Hopefully I can see you Saturday. And please keep doing what you're doing. We need that. We love what you're doing. Please continue. It's greatly
Yeah,
appreciated.
thank you so much. I will. Thank you.
Clapping in, ladies and gentlemen. What a great show. Great guests. Two great guests, by the way. And to Shay gracious with her presence as well. So, man, Halloween is right around the corner. Y'all be safe out there. Please protect each other, protect one another. Buddy system, that's what we did. Please continue to do that. Watch your kids. Get off your phones before your kids go up to these houses. I'll be right next to them. Don't be that parent, please.
And
So, yeah.
Also, to the adults, just because it's Halloween don't mean you could just have permission to wear anything. Everybody don't want to see everything you got. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's right. Yeah, because some of y'all don't need to be wearing no katana off of Mortal Kombat, like 2-piece. It's not that kind of holiday. Y'all grown folks that like to dress up, y'all go and take your old behind to like a Halloween party for adults. In the afternoon when the sun go down, it's for the kids. The later on the night, it's for you. There's levels. Okay? There's levels to this. And don't be fighting over no candy.
No.
Don't do all that. No. They don't even TP houses no more. They just breaking the houses now.
Do that if you want to.
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
Yeah.
And then some of y'all are too big to be trick-or-treating. I'm sorry.
You can just go to the store, buy your candy bag and this.
Real talk. Like some of y'all, hey man, hey, you 15, bro, the thrill is gone. Seriously.
Yeah, it is.
I'm talking about them 35-year-olds that be out there trying to trick or treat.
Yeah.
Y'all be candy.
Yeah, get your ass out of here before I call the police. Get your ass out of here. Call the police on your bed. Get out. Yeah, you go to the store and go buy something.
Oh man. Chris, you got any positive notes? Any quotes before we get up out of here?
Quote of the day: life is like a camera. Focus on what is important, capture the good times, develop the negatives, and if things don't work out, take another shot.
Good. I like that. I like it, Chris.
I like it.
That's right.
Peace.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a good one and be safe.